I guess I should have saw that coming. Hey guys, DB Rye here with another What If. This time I am continuing the story of what if Bardock stopped Lord Freeza. Now, for those who have been following the story, Bardock was able to stop Lord Freeza by convincing King Vegeta to unify the Saiyan race in a final Great Ape assault that eventually led to the demise of Lord Freeza. So they got to, go on living, instead of Freeza having his way in wiping out the Saiyan race. And all seemed good for a time until King Vegeta started getting jealous because of the Saiyans worshipping Bardock, the lower class scum, instead of the royal family. Oh well, who could blame them? Bardock did just kind of save their race from obliteration, but anyway. And so, King Vegeta made a deal with King Cold, basically selling out his entire race, and of course, selling out Bardock and his entire crew, which, due to Bardock, who has kept his foresight that he got from the Canassan commander, was able to see that coming and put an end to King Vegeta, and as well as King Cold, and ascended into the ranks of Super Saiyan. Bardock is the first Super Saiyan in this story. And things seem to have gone on peacefully. Bardock has done well in restoring the honor of the Saiyan race by liberating all the Freeza Force-controlled planet and returning them to the rightful owners, or rightful rulers of the planet, I should say. And since then, the Saiyans don't get paid to conquer planets anymore. They now get paid to protect them. They do security work for the other worlds, and this has gone to ensure that there will never be another Freeza. Now, in the meantime, Gine did, of course, go to Earth and track down her son Kakarot, aka Goku, and actually got to witness her son growing up. He did still have his bump on his head and became known as Goku, but eventually Gine did tell him the truth on who he really was, his real name and everything, and that, of course, Gine and Bardock are his parents, which has left Goku pretty excited and more hungry for training than ever before. And now, since then, Gine has returned to planet Vegeta and has begun teaching the Saiyans the ability on how to sense energy and how to conceal as well as raise their power levels whenever they need it, which is a little trick she learned during her time on Earth, training with Roshi and all her battles on Earth, fighting alongside her son and all that gist. This actually made her strong enough that she was able to beat her husband, who is nearly 100 times stronger than her, in a sparring match. She was able to beat him because she took advantage of all those tricks she learned on Earth, and since then has had a third Saiyan child with Bardock, who, per your vote, is known as Barne. And, per your vote, a daughter. So Goku and Raditz now have a little sister. Isn't that just cute? But Ryan, you can't just insert your own characters. This is unbecoming. Unsubscribe. A bit of a tribute to Masako X there. That's what he does. Anyway, back to the story. So, Barne, does she train just like her siblings? Yes, but she's not really as into fighting. She's more like her mother, or what her mother used to be. she's not really sure of herself, what she's actually capable of. It's not until she had a training session with Gine one time, where Barne actually got a good shot in against her mother, and Gine was able to sense her daughter's full potential. And just how powerful is Barne? Well, you're going to have to wait for that. We're not ready to know that yet. But rest assured you, it's pretty high. And, now meanwhile, the other side of the universe, galaxy I should say, someone has been attacking the other planets. Some of these planets that have been liberated by the Saiyans. So remember, they had the Freeza force on the run and they haven't been heard from in years. But now suddenly, these soldiers are now attacking these planets that the Saiyans have liberated, and they are wearing Freeza Force uniforms, or similar to, along with some new soldiers we've never seen before, and they're right now in battle with Bardock's crew, Tora, Fasha, Shugesh, and the other one. I can't really pronounce his name. Is it Boris? Boringus? Boringo? I don't remember. Oops. Anyway, so they're having an all-out fight with these guys, but they are on the losing side of this battle. In fact, by the end of it, Tora's the only one left. The rest have been wiped out by these guys who are similar to the Ginyu Force in a way, but it's not the Ginyu Force. And these guys actually seem to know what they're doing. But Tora is holding his own. He's actually managing to beat these guys back. But then, suddenly, he is interrupted by a sudden death beam through the chest. He turns around to see this being standing before him. It can't be. Freeza? You're supposed to be dead. But the other men are just laughing, and he's like, this isn't Freeza. This guy is Freeza's brother. May I introduce Lord Cooler. It's hard to believe that these monkeys actually defeated my brother and father. They must have been truly pathetic. And he fires one final attack, finishing off Tora and enslaving that planet. Which planet was it? It's the same planet from the Broly Legendary Super Saiyan movie. You know, the one Paragus took over and tried to convince Prince Vegeta that it was a new planet Vegeta. Alright, now Bardock, of course, heard everything that was going on this planet, due to the fact that the Saiyans still use the Scouters. Now, they don't use the Scouters to detect energy, they use it solely for communication. It's the best way to stay communicated when these battalions of Saiyans are on other planets doing their protection thing, you know, easy way to call for reinforcements. Now, with that in mind, Bardock is horrified that his greatest fears have come to life. There is, in fact, another Freeza running around, causing havoc in the galaxy. And Cooler is just taking out these planets one by one. As for Barne, Barne, of course, has no knowledge of any of this. She's just happy being a little Saiyan kid and helping out Uncle Nappa in his garden, while all this mayhem is going on around her. Or another planet, I should say. Now, when Bardock does try to get reinforcements to these other planets in order to better protect these other planets, but it ultimately doesn't end up working because the current ships that the Saiyans got are just not as good as what in this case, the Cooler Force are using. You know, they've got all the best stuff from, you know, from the remnants of the Freeza Force. You know, they can be in new planets within minutes, but in some cases, some of these planets are, you know, 2-week journeys away, a month journeys, a year journey. You know, it's not working out, and every time Bardock tries this, Cooler is just picking off all the Saiyan pods that he comes across. So Saiyan numbers are beginning to dwindle really quickly. They're dropping like flies. And eventually, Cooler does set his sights on planet Vegeta, and an all-out battle ensues on the planet. And it's quite obvious that the Saiyans are on the losing side of this. They are not going to win this time. They are not going to stop this brother of Freeza. He's too much ahead. No matter how much foresight Bardock has been getting into this threat, this is just one thing he just can't seem to change. But that's okay. Gine has a plan. While Bardock is in his Super Saiyan form, battling with Cooler in Stage 5, he is ultimately defeated and killed by the new evil Galactic Emperor. Yeah, sorry Bardock fans, but yeah, he wasn't a match for 5th form Cooler. Considering he's been on planet Vegeta most of the time, he hasn't really gotten that much. Hasn't really fully mastered Super Saiyan. This is really the only time he's really used his Super Saiyan transformation since his battle with King Cold. So, and Cooler, he's had years to perfect his 5th form. So yeah, sorry guys, Bardock was in the losing battle this time. But, like I said, Gine has a plan. She gathers Barne, Raditz, and Vegeta all together and tells Raditz, "You need to take your sister and the king, go to Earth, find your brother Kakarot, and get the Dragon Balls. Use that to undo everything Cooler has done if you have to." And with Barne, of course, she doesn't want to leave the planet. She wants to stay. She wants to stay with her family. You know, this is the only place she's really known. And Gine just gives her daughter a hug and then knocks her out. Knocks her daughter out, and with that, Raditz and Vegeta get on the nearest ship they could, and they flee the planet before the planet is completely overrun and taken by the Cooler Force. And they manage to escape, and they just can't imagine the horrible things that could be happening on their planet right now. And of course they do end up arriving on Earth within the year's time, because it's a year's trip. Cooler, of course, no idea where they've ran off to. And it doesn't matter, you know, it's just a few Saiyans, not hardly worth his time. He's gotten his revenge as far as he's concerned. But you never know, this might just be something that Cooler wishes he fought and finished to the very end. And I think that is where we're going to leave things for right now. So tell me, what do you think about this installation story? Do you like what I've done here? Will Raditz, Vegeta, and Barne find Goku, and will they be able, with him, be able to ultimately stop Cooler and take back their planet, as well as free the galaxy once again? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get this discussion going. All right. I'll see you next time for another dose of what-ifery. Probably out here, because out here I can sort of go a bit more all out. A bit more. I don't have to be so quiet, because I'm afraid of disturbing my old man sleeping in there. So until then, I'll see you next time.